You guys are definitely going to walk away from this class feeling empowered, feeling excited. And my goal here is to create a tribe of accountability, of friendship, and of connection. And so with that, let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. So the name of this class is Newsletters to Take Mindshare. My name is Maggie Jensen, for those of you who may not know me. I live in Miramar, Jacksonville. I moved down here 2 years ago with my husband and my daughter, who's in my belly now, and now she's in daycare. I got my real estate license back in 2013 when I sort of fell into it when I was working as a waitress in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, in a Mexican restaurant. And I moved to New York City thinking I wanted to do advertising and marketing and these, kind of roles that were in tandem with my degree at New York University, which was media, culture, and communications. And when I was working as a waitress, I just realized I was really awesome at connecting with people, at getting on their level and being memorable. And so I think all of us, we all come from different walks of life, but we're all realtors because we want to make money. We want to help people. And one thing I love about Keller Williams is this is a safe space for us to explore, to try new things. And I have not been consistent in my newsletters, guys. I did a big announcement when I joined Keller Williams back in October, and I did a couple newsletters, but I wasn't really following through with it. So after today, we will talk about a plan of what it looks like if you do want to participate. Newsletters should not be taking you more than 15 minutes once a month to get out. Now, there is definitely some background planning that you're going to need to consider. And so here's the agenda for today. We're, let's see, we kind of did introductions at the beginning when I was welcoming everyone. I'd love to hear from you. And what is one, just you can go off mute. We're going to take a couple minutes. I want to hear something about you that would surprise us, that would surprise other people. And don't overthink it. Anyone can share. And who's going to go first?
I have
I'll
something.
start. Oh, no, go, Rachel.
I think some people know this, but I'm currently in grad school to get my master's in marketing.
So much, Rachel.
Woo!
I'm so glad
Great job.
we
Good
have
job.
a guru. We have a guru on the call. Thank you. Thank you for going first. Nick Jones.
This time last year, I was an actor and a singer in New York as well, for those of you that I don't know on the call. And kind of like Maggie, I kind of stumbled upon real estate. I was, oh, this is my puppy. Sorry, he just made an appearance as well. I kind of just stumbled onto it. I used, the quarantine time to get my license, and yeah, kind of just happened all of a sudden.
Wonderful. I love that. And the reason why I asked that question is it's something that I've been doing for many years. And before I lived in Jacksonville, I was living in New York. I was recruiting for Corcoran, a large real estate company in New York, for 8 offices. We had 5 in Manhattan and 3 in Brooklyn. And when I would host my kind of information sessions in our agent studio, I asked that question because when we're out with our customers, when we're out showing homes, you can only talk about the house so much, right? Being in this business is about building relationships. And when we kind of are in touch with ourselves, when we know who we are, when we know what we stand for, which is one thing I love about Keller Williams, we have our Y2C4Ts, and we have the culture and that backbone to support us in our larger Keller Williams family as a whole. But we're talking about your personal brand here. So I know Dave is on the call, and Dave, when I asked him this question, he said he plays this killer Ted Nugent song, Stranglehold, I think, but whatever it is, you know.
You're funny. Very good. Yeah.
He's got this side of him that has nothing to do with real estate, but it is just purely, you know, his expression of joy. At one time, I think he was doing it as his job, but it's just one side of him that people wouldn't really know unless you told them, right? So taking mindshare, you know, in a newsletter is one thing, but also being vulnerable enough and open enough to share things about yourself with others, whether in person or digitally, that's going to make you memorable, guys. Getting down to someone else's level and, you know, sharing, you know, something that happened. But essentially, this is what else we're going to go over today. I'm going to give you 5. Hey, stop scratching. Sorry, guys. I got to let my cat out. That is so fun. Okay, now everyone is out of the house. Okay, so we're going to go over 5 essentials for an effective newsletter strategy. I'm going to also do some command tutorials, share a couple hacks with you, and then we're going to go over what a 12-month plan looks like, you know, with these digital emails and next steps. So I chose this quote, "You're kind of, sort of, basically, pretty much always on my mind." And the reason why I chose that quote is because I think it would be our goal as realtors to have our customers, our clients, our friends, our SOIs, our everyone that we know, we want them to know that we're thinking about them, but ultimately we're doing it because we want them to only think of us when it comes to real estate. That's what, you know, mindshare is. So for, you know, for the purposes of this call, an email newsletter is a powerful, free marketing tool. You can do this yourself. It does not take a lot of time, but it really helps you to establish your local expertise. And that's Jacksonville, that's Florida, you know, whatever niche you choose. But it is a very easy way to have consistent brand recognition. And it's going to be consistent because you're going to have one template that you're going to use for each newsletter. You're just going to be tweaking the little content that goes in the different blocks. So I'm going to show you how to do that. But really, you're having this brand recognition, you're getting your name in front of your customers, but it's in a non-invasive way. So you get to maintain that personalized feel with your database. And I remember in Ignite, we were taught you got to feed your database, right? You got to be putting 10 contacts a week in, if not more. And I've been with KW now for 6 months, and I could definitely be feeding my database more. So this is a way that I am sort of committing to myself to step up, to stay in touch with my contacts. I think I'm around 500 in command right now, but I want to get that mind share. I hate finding out when someone I know sold with someone else, or I see a house on my street with a sign from another realtor. Like, I know we're not supposed to take it personally, but man, it stinks. So it's not a missed opportunity insofar as you know that you did what you needed to do 3, 6, 12 months beforehand. So you're setting the pace. I'm going to show you a really awesome trick in command. It's not going to be like blasting out through MailChimp. It's not going to be like doing constant contact. This is all within what you pay for, $49, what we pay for, $49 a month, to have this very powerful customized tool command. So mindshare, what is it? It's a marketing term that describes the amount of awareness there is around a certain product or idea. So when people think, Google, Pepsi, or when it comes to real estate, a lot of people think of Keller Williams. So we already have that in our favor, guys. We don't have to explain, we don't have to explain really the power of KW. We can pull that out of our pockets if we need to. We're going to know those scripts. We're going to learn them over time. But who are you within KW? That's one of the things I love about our company, the brand. Keller Williams powers us. I think I saw we were on the Forbes list, and we're not even a real estate company. I think we're like a business and operational services company. And that was surprising to me because, I've also heard that we are a training and education company that's disguised as a real estate company. He sort of was like thinking about that. And I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. It's the culture of where we work. We share what we know. Like I'm doing this this workshop for fun because I'm looking for that, camaraderie, and I'm not getting paid to do this. I see it like agents like Nate Riggs or Katie North. Like I see people stepping up, sharing what they know all the time. So, and they're getting mindshare from within, from other agents. I mean, definitely made them stand out with me. And wouldn't you want to get that within our, network as well as with your people out there? So, mindshare can be kind of difficult to quantify, right? In our dream world, we're kind of like, oh yeah, my realtor, I kind of think of Frederick Eklund. I'm like big in Bravo. I love Frederick. I've met him a couple times. He's like larger than life personality. Like he came from very, different upbringings than me. But what did he do? He learned the market. He kept his chin up when he felt like really, like he didn't have the confidence or whatnot. He's one of the most successful realtors in the world. He's got my mind share. And then it goes me, and then maybe Gary Keller, and then maybe Gene Rivers. No, I'm just kidding. But it's difficult to quantify, but with an email newsletter, you can, and it's all tracked in command. So you track this through open rates, click-throughs, and my favorite, responses. When someone gets your newsletter and they hit reply and they, give you a little update of what's going on in their world. But, what are we looking for as realtors? We want market share. We want the listings. We want the closed business. But in order to get that, you have to capture mindshare first. And mindshare and, these KPIs, it can be a much better gauge of a small business's long-term health, the market share, because it really is backed by impressions. When you're sending out postcards or, door knocking or whatever, it can be kind of tough to quantify your success rate. So we're going to talk about that. I'm just going to keep moving forward. So, the first step in the 5 things you got to do before you send out your newsletter. Oh, look at her. She's cleaning. And man, when we started in Ignite, things were so clean back then, right? We had our, maybe 25, 50 contacts, adding them, whatnot. But I'm going to challenge all of us to time block for, an hour. Maybe let's do 2 hours a week, 1 hour a day on one day, another hour, another day. Just clean up your database. Don't worry about adding more people, clean up what you have. And while you're doing it, it could be a good opportunity to pick up the phone, to say, hey, it's Maggie, it's been a while since we chatted, want to check in. How are you doing? Oh, great. Yeah. Well, I'm just updating my database. I noticed I don't have your email address. Like what's a good way for me to stay in touch with you if I want to send you my newsletter, whatever it might be. So when you're cleaning it up, make sure it's a good opportunity to touch your people with a quick phone call. And also you can log it. And man, there's so many different systems out there, guys, with MailChimp, Constant Contact, whatnot. We pay for command, use it. And command your database, make it your, what, but you got to use it to its full potential. So you got to feed it, you got to be meeting new people and, entering them in. Like my bad habit is I have a bunch of business cards of people that I met and I just haven't entered them into command yet. So that could be something I could time block an hour a week for, entering in the people that I met that week. But you also got to nourish it, right? I think you nourish your your database by calling, by texting, by sending these newsletters. And really, it really comes down to tags. So this quote I remember is from Rugrats, like Chucky Finster, who is the really neurotic, I think he like toddler with the red hair. He was like, a clean home is a happy home. And so like a clean database is a happy database, because guys, let's be honest, if you feed your database for the next 10 years and you say, oh man, I want to get out of real estate, I'm done. You could sell your contacts to someone. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that with KW, but it's true. It's your information, but you really systematize your success with tags. So one thing that I did when I was a new realtor in New York was I had 8,000 contacts, and I knew maybe half of them, but a lot of those other people, they were realtors that were from Broker Blast. They were just randos. So you want to make sure that you, like when I say your command is clean, you got to make sure you have that relevant audience. So with the tags, and I'll show you how to do this later if you don't know how to do tags. There's if you go to kwconnect.com and search anything, newsletters, tags, command emails, whatever it is, like everything is there for you as well. So I'm just going to give you the high level. But you want to have tags like for who they are. Are they a buyer? Are they a seller? Are they an agent? For me, I have a special tag for KW agent. Did you meet them at an open house? I have a tag called Inwood Owners. I live on Inwood Terrace. And instead of door knocking the neighbors on my immediate street, I've just met them over time, put them in my database, send them a book every now and then, and nurturing those relationships before going and asking for the business, because I've had my license for 6 months now. Other tag options, where are they? Do they live in Jacksonville? Did you move here from another state? Well, I didn't have a huge SOI when I moved to Jacksonville. And, I know a lot of people feel that way when they start in this business. So, if you are connected with another market, you could, reach out to other Keller Williams agents in that market. You could start making referral business with them. And if they are referrals, make sure to, put that if it's a lender referral. All y'all, make sure you're asking your preferred mortgage lenders, hey, you got any business for me? Because even though most of them say, oh man, I always they get to me before, or they get to me like after they've already started working with an agent. Yeah, but every once in a while, they do get someone who comes to them and they're going to need an agent. I did that when I was doing my lead gen and Ignite, and it was pretty awesome. Oopsies. Sorry. Here we go back. Okay. Partner level. So this is pretty higher level. Do you think this is like a seller who would work with you again in the past? Have you gotten referrals from them before? That's really important. Have you that's one other thing, just a little side note, Maggie's mindful moment. If you are too scared to ask for referrals, scream into a pillow and get it out of your system, because no one is just going to give, well, I won't say no one, maybe 1 or 2 in every 10 people is actually just going to be easy because they know you and they like you and they trust you. It's probably 1 out of every 10. But I went 2 years in my business before I had the courage to say, do you know anyone who's looking to buy or sell real estate? If they don't need help right now, are you having those types of conversations? So make sure that you're getting those referrals. Huge opportunity for another stream of income in your business. Last but not least, action category. So it's like, who do you want to get your Happy New Year emails? Who do you want to get your Valentine's Day postcards? I sent out Valentine's Day postcards this year, but I chose this tag because the tags are going to identify who your email is going to. Again, lots of great videos in KW Connect. Time and value. So we are definitely not going to want to be those realtors where someone gets and they're like, oh, delete, or oh, just to spam. like, I don't know about you guys, but I take things a little bit too personally to be automatically deleted and not opened. So a couple things just in case you feel like, oh man, I'm really like pulling down my pants in front of these people. I'm doing this first thing. I've never done it before. Guys, you can do it. Just be sure. I'm going to tell you how to do it. So don't worry. But I don't want my emails to be deleted. That's why I don't send out like the mass ones through MailChimp. And there's some hacks that I'm going to show you in Command that will help you share about yourself, will build your brand. There's like tons of little inserts where the market updates, you just type in the zip code and it automatically will go to, plug in all those market stats. But the goal is to ensure that you are that number one person who has their mind share. So how do you measure this? You measure it with the open rate. And I will say, I have consistently gotten open rates above 30% for the 8 years that I have been doing these types of emails. I will say, when I was doing them for another broker, when I was being paid to do her marketing, it was going out to, like I said, like thousands of random New York City real estate agents. Those open rates were maybe between 18 and 21%. But the fewer people you send the emails to, the higher your open rate will be. So I would say a good goal would be to utilize those tags so that your emails are either going out to a specific group based on the tags, or you have enough courage to make your monthly newsletter so, like all-encompassingly great that you could send that to everyone. And that's my goal. I don't really want to be sending specialized emails to people who might sell with me in the future, right? I want them to see my face. I want them to see my name. I want them to see I'm in business with Keller Williams. And the way that you measure that, like I said, the open rates, the CTRs, the click-through rates. So if you have a link to share your app, which should always be in every marketing email, because we want to keep our customers off of Zillow, off of realtor.com, off of those late night Google searches. Let's just keep them on the app, or of course the MLS portal. That's a great option as well. But really you want to think about what's your call to action. Now you could have more than one call to action in your emails. It's up to you, but essentially you just are going to want to keep it simple. So keeping that consistent tone. Think of this acronym, KISS. Like, look how cute these little kids are. She's like kissing her little baby brother or whatever. Listen, KISS means keep it simple, sweetheart. And you will have your template created, saved in Command. If you don't already have a logo created, that's okay. You could do it in Canva. You could work with the agent services team or leadership. You could ask a friend to help you. Like, I have a friend who does gorgeous chalk artwork. And, before I made it on Canva myself, I did reach out to her because I wanted to see what she could do. It's a great opportunity to sort of fuse lead gen and touching your SOI with an opportunity for, small businesses working with other small businesses. But anyways, please use the same template every time in Command. You can create your own from scratch if you feel like it. They have so many in there, but ultimately consistency is key. And I have not done that, right? Like, I've been kind of all over the place. I was doing it through MailChimp when I first started at KW. And after, learning a little bit more about just how powerful Command is, it's awesome because I want those analytics, right? And I don't want to go to spam. I don't want to be deleted. But we really are looking for catchy subject titles. We'll go over that in a second, but maintain a very to the point approach. I get stuck up when I sit down and try to write a novel like this, the last 6 months have been so rocky in my world. I got my license. I built my, no, okay. Show them show them that you have the market stats. Show them that you're in business with great agents. Show the power of KW or Keller Mortgage or Keller Offers, whatever it is. There's like literally infinity things you could choose from, but it has to be to the point. So last but not least, number 5, you want to optimize your send. You can optimize your send. You do that with your subject line. So please raise your hand if you sent out an announcement email saying that you joined Keller Williams. Anyone? Oh, Cinque, we got one. Awesome, Cinque. Okay, guys, that's the best news I've ever heard. The best / worst, because you have the opportunity to let everyone know you are in business. And it is probably going to be your most opened email of your career. So don't blow it. And on your subject line, I like things like alliterations. I like, using one powerful emoji like the explosion or a bomb, or something that is maybe aligned with your brand. But you're going to be able to track these analytics, see what performed well in the past, but your subject line is everything. And so I'm going to show it, like your first one, say exciting announcement from Nick Jones. Just do it. Like you have an exciting announcement. You passed the real estate exam. You got your license. You chose to go into business with Keller Williams. Now look what you can do. But definitely don't bury the lead. Like you want to make sure that it's sort of a cliffhanger, like your subject title. And you just definitely want someone to open it, right? So keep it simple, sweetheart, kiss. But also you can make it personal. I am considering testing out like it's easier here. That's a motto for Jacksonville. I'm not sure, but I'm going to be sending out my newsletter here before the end of the month. But you just really want to be strategic with your timing. So just like anything in real estate, we're doing time blocking. We are, making sure that we're putting a monthly reminder on our calendar, maybe today, where you're blocking out time to make your newsletter, and then you're going to send it. And so it will only take the most time the first time. And again, I'm here to help you feel empowered by that. And again, create those audience segments. Like I remember I was so just like, my dad never sent me any referrals in Jacksonville, but he has this big financial investor friend who lives out at Jax Beach. And he's like, oh yes, I sent your info to Mr. Hyman, but don't blast him with your emails. I was just like, Dad, you know what? Stop killing my vibe. I am in business. You can't control me. I'm an independent contractor. Leave me alone. Send me some referrals. So, if there are those people where you kind of are like, do they want to hear from me? Go for it. Just go for it. Don't let anybody hold you back. But really, video messages and branding are it right now. So what I've seen, I've used software like BombBomb. Like there's this real estate marketing software called BombBomb that only is just about like quick little videos within the email, which is cool if you want to spend like $150 a month just to do, but you can do that in Command, you can do that in Google, even like with some certain add-ons. But having a YouTube channel, I'll never forget when Gene Rivers, he was the one promoting YouTube videos. And then I kind of did my Maggie stalking and I saw the Rivers, and they have so many videos up on their page to the point where like there's too many to choose from. And you're like, okay, they have a lot of listings. They've been doing this a while. Okay, I will maybe call them or whatnot. So if you're starting from scratch, like that's okay. Don't worry about it. But I'm going to show you the video that I created that I'm going to be putting in my newsletter. And it's just like a little teaser, right? Something for them to click if they want to. You're going to be able to see those click rates through Command. So let me know if you can hear this. Hey y'all, it's Maggie, your mindful realtor in Jacksonville, Florida. What's up? Happy May. I hope that this message finds you happy, healthy, and wealthy wherever you are. Got a lot of fun stuff to share in this newsletter. A little bit about an exciting sale that I helped my friend Eartha with, as well as an upcoming lunch and learn. If you or someone you know is interested in getting into real estate, it's going to be on May 25th at 1 p.m. in our Keller Williams Rivers Group Riverside Market Center. So if you need any help with real estate, if you know anyone who does, please don't hesitate to give me a ring, 904-853-0952. Namaste. Okay, so I feel like, I feel just like so exposed because that's like held me up. Like I have like done videos. I did them in the winter when I first joined and I stopped, and you know what? Like, don't be like me. Like, just don't overthink it. Just do it. And I think I did that one yesterday, maybe like 3 takes. Sometimes I get really in my head, and as someone who can be anxious sometimes, I just, get so stuck that I don't take any action at all. But I really liked this quote to end the presentation portion of today with. Relationships are not where you find happiness, it's where you share happiness. So think on that for a second. Like, I go back to my dad, right? Like he's, if I ever am not like really sharing what's going on in my life or my world, sometimes he takes it personally, or, he's just like a little baby about it. But let's think about it on a bigger scale, right? Just like our parents want to hear from us, so do our people. And after years of being in this business myself, but also helping other agents with their marketing efforts and teaching newsletter classes in New York, it is really, really astounding when you see someone who has received your newsletter and they let you know that they read it, they bring it up. And it's just a really nice way for, you to have that baseline and it's free. Like, let's be honest. Okay, so Sergio said it was choppy, but it's good. Okay, well, that is perfect. So I'm going to pause before I go into the command section. Does anybody have any questions, any ahas, anything that's really standing out for them? I see Kelly's not driving anymore. Welcome home. Got your kitty cat there.
No, I'm just really intimidated by doing that because I just feel like content-wise. So how do you come up with content? Basically.
Oh man. Well,
that's a big question.
Well, I've been following your social media and you do a great job at creating content.
Yeah.
Like your heels, heels in the dirt. Like it's something I've seen you do more than once, where you're this realtor who's always wearing the wrong shoes when she's showing the property.
And chasing dogs.
Exactly, right? And so that's a huge part of, I think once you know what your brand is, Kelly, the content becomes a little easier, right? And you're someone who's like very compassionate, loves animals, but also like a little punk rock. So like having, however you choose to blend those different elements of yourself and it feels authentic, it's not going to feel like content. It's just going to become sharing. And you're already really good at it.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, you bet. Anyone else want to share? Okay. All right. So I'm going to share my screen again. We're going to go into, wait, let me see. Hold on. Pull this up. I have just a couple too many tabs open. Okay, hold on. Okay, here we go. Admitting Sergio back in. Thank you for your patience. Okay. Here we go. So keep in mind, guys, you're going to want to be using command and incognito. I don't know why, I don't know how, but when you do it, it is definitely less glitchy. And this was something that Rachel and I were kind of feeling a little frustrated with, that there were certain glitches with command that we couldn't really work around. But the great thing is working at a technology company, they're always updating things for us and working on that. So if you ever have any feedback, definitely make sure to write that down. Let's see. Who is not on mute? I think it's Sergio. I'll mute you, Serge. Welcome back to the office. Okay, so everyone can see my screen. So it's kind of taking a hot second to load, but essentially command is where everything lives, right? And when we're doing newsletters, we're going to be going to the designs tab on the left. So one thing I learned from Nate Riggs just yesterday, if you click on this red square in the top left corner, they all pop out. Isn't that pretty? And you can see what all those things mean. And contacts, when you're going to be cleaning up your contacts, putting on the tags, if you choose, you know, I'm going to show you a quick little trick right now. Ideally, guys, you know, you would be segmenting your databases down to these smaller groups. I don't know about you. I want to have my brand broadcasted. I want to have everyone get the same message. I don't want to have to be worrying about that. And so just keeping it simple is, you know, it's possible. And so if you wanted to create a tag for all of your contacts to receive, hold on one sec. If you wanted to create a tag for the contacts, you could do that by selecting everyone. And so, let's see, here we go. Let's see, new contacts. Okay, so you see where it says show 1 to 10? Down here, click 500. If you have more than 500 and you select all of them on one page and you go to the next page, they will stay selected, just kind of like with MLS. But so you have everyone, and then you can click this. Okay, I have 471. And remember, not everyone in your command is going to have an email address. And that's a point I'm going to come back to later. But so see, I've selected everyone. And that could be, you know, if you did want to add your tags that way. But for this class, I encourage you just to suck it up, be like that cleaning lady, and go through every contact to create the tag down here. And, you know, remember, you're not only going to be sending this one email newsletter for mindshare. If you have your contact's address, then their neighborhood is going to be added into command, and they're going to be getting that monthly neighborhood nurture immediately from command. So that's always going to go out if you have that address. You can see right here, that neighborhood update. If you don't know about this, it is one of the best reasons to figure out your contacts' addresses. And if you don't know them, you can always go to Fast People Search. You can always pick up the phone and say, let's see, I don't know why that didn't work. But anyways, you can always pick up the phone and say, hey, Sergio, I'm updating my database. Just wanted to make sure you're still living in St. John's, has that pool, and you're checking in with them, letting them know you care about them, but then also you're going to add that tag. So.
Hey, Maggie.
Yeah.
That monthly neighborhood update, does that go out automatically? Or do you, if you have their address and zip and all that stuff in there, does that, or do we send that out to them every month?
Great question, Brendan. That automatically goes out. So when you enter a contact's home address into your command, and you also have an email address associated with them, they will automatically get that neighborhood nurture. So that is kind of like the backup mindshare thing, because it's the automatic things just about the hyper local area where they live. You still want to be sending out this newsletter with, fun things going on in your life or the market. But to add a tag, you go to the contact, you click edit, and then right here, you could add a tag just by saying, we'll call her sister. This is my sister-in-law. Create a custom tag. Okay, cool. Add. Sometimes you can use different colors if you're like a color person. But most importantly, I would do newsletter 2021. Whatever you wanted to call it. You could do May 2021 if you want, but I would probably say just keep that one newsletter tag 2021, and then if you have new people that you add to your command, you know that you're adding that same tag, because when we set up our smart plans later, when we add that tag newsletter 2021, it's one way that we could either use the smart plan to send out that newsletter, if that's your cake. If you want to schedule it ahead of time, you don't want to have to think about it, you can definitely do that. Command is that powerful. But also if you want to send it out manually, like, you do it with everyone who has that tag, just send it through the email. We're going to go through that as well. So now that you've seen how to make a tag, and we talked about all those tags, and everyone will be receiving I can send you the slides for this after, I could send you the recording, but down here on the left, we have designs. So designs is pretty cool. I'm sure there's a bunch of tech whizzes in Austin sitting in a big warehouse that are just like all MIT grads who are thinking about, okay, what's going to be the best thing that our agents are going to want to use for their, whether it's their social blast, St. Patrick's, there's so many different things in here. I can't even go into it all, but for newsletters, yeah.
Do you mind if I add something back to the contacts and editing like the whole tags?
Yes.
If you go back, there's a way that you can add all your contacts onto one tag, so you don't have to manually go into like every contact to add that new tag.
Oh, you want to walk us through it, Rachel? Thank you.
If you want to click that checkbox right next to name, so it checks everyone. And then if you go to select bulk action, right above last visited, little drop down.
Oh, right here.
Yep. And then where is it? Yeah, add bulk tags. And I'm not sure if you had to create the tag or if you can make it right there. I'm not sure.
Well, looky. There's that tag we just created.
Yep.
Rachel, you're a gem. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Guys, Command is still new for me, and Rachel has been leveraging it so much for her agent services role. She's been helping not only with all of the events and getting the word out to the agents, but she just commands smart plans and everything. I'm so grateful that you just jumped in and were so willing to share. You're the best. Okay, so we're going back to designs. So there's tons of videos in here, guys, and you can like search some there. Like I said, KW Connect. But right here, you click this little plus sign. And some ideas for newsletters, you could do market updates. If you wanted to send out your new listing just to Keller Williams agents or just to a select, that's how you would utilize those tags. Let's see. So if you press that plus sign, you'll have plenty of options. I'm not quite sure why my internet is running so slowly, but I'm just going to open the sample that I've set up. Okay, so when you have created the template, let me see. The one I think I use is called Approachable, like Approachable Bee. And you can always create your own. Don't worry about that if you don't like what's offered. But let's talk about how to do this. It could be the local businesses, you could do market updates, whatever you want. And you could get your data from MLS. You could get it from, there's InfoSparks. In Ignite, we were taught to use those NEFAR stats because we're in Northeast Florida. So this is not an automatic send. I create this email in designs, and you always want to send it to yourself as a test first. And you do that by going to options, send test email, and then putting in your email address there. So with the template approachable that I used, it already had the Market Center logo, all this stuff that was already there. This is the graphic that I chose that I'm going to be using, I believe, for the next 12 months. I think it's so fun. I went to the local library and checked out this book about old Florida attractions like Silver Springs and Cypress Gardens and all these like old heyday attractions that were really big back in 100 years ago. But essentially the hardest part, guys, is like what you want to say at the beginning. And if you don't feel like you have it in you to pull out something creative, you can always use NEFAR as long as you cite them. So this is not what I'm sending out yet, something I'm playing with. Again, some of the, the formatting looks a little wonky, so I'll have to edit that. But let me see if we can preview this. Okay, so this is what it would look like. This is all through command. This is not, anything special. I'll probably want to center this, and you can use these different toggles up here to see what it would look like on an iPad or a phone, desktop. Since we're sending these emails, between 9 and 11, probably like Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, those would be the top days. I'm sure there's better stats for the exact day to send. But I have sent out these types of emails on a Sunday or a Saturday morning. It's really however you're feeling, when you feel inspired. But I just wrote a little, just a little blurb about what's going on in the market. I did a link to my my KW website here, a couple market stats about what is going on, and then a tiny little plug for my 2 closings this past month. And then I talked about Keller Williams, and we're growing. We are killing it in the game. And I had a link that I found on KW Connect about, just how much we're growing. So don't forget, always ask for that referral. If you know anyone who's looking to buy, sell, or join Keller Williams, let me know. And I'm not sure if all of you know, I work part-time doing recruiting for the Rivers and Ben. And I want to help you grow your profit trees. I want to help you get people that you know and like in front of Ben or Gail or anyone on leadership, to get them an opportunity so that if and when they join, they name you as their sponsor. So just like you would be asking people for referrals for for sale or for to work with you in a buyer or seller capacity, I want you to become so skilled in asking people, how are you doing? Are you meeting your goals this year? It's almost June. Are you on track? And it doesn't matter where you are with your business. When you ask the right questions and you get someone to open up with you about what's working or what's not working, that's where the real meat comes from. Because at KW, we don't recruit, we refer and reward. So essentially, we'd be referring other agents to me so I can set those meetings on Ben's calendar, which I have access to, or Gail's calendar, so that they can get an interview. I've gone through this process with some of you on this call, but for those of you who haven't met with me in that capacity, I'm here to help you guys grow your profit trees, not because I'm being paid to do it, but because it's something I actually think is really cool. Only 1/3 of agents actually participate in it. And so always be asking for, referrals, and also if someone's interested in a career move. So this link, I'd probably upload that cover image that I did use for YouTube. And this is linked to my YouTube page. So not only would I be able to track click-throughs from when people open this email in command, but also be able to see in tandem how many views it's getting on my YouTube channel. I am going to highlight one property. I asked my husband, Nick, last night, I was like, what is something, like, people don't want to know that the house had like 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and it sold that. So Nick's suggestion was to pick the coolest feature about the house or the transaction or something really, really stellar about it. So again, this is not going out to my people right away. This is just something that I'm, toying with. And then right here, this is where I'm going to be putting information for my upcoming Lunch and Learn, where I'm going to be at the Riverside office doing my first in-person career discovery event. But a couple hacks for this that I want to tell you. And yes, it's a hack. You want to do it in incognito. You definitely don't want to change the font size too much, guys. I have really wanted to tear my hair out because, my clicks can't keep up with my command. And I think this is why some of us were feeling like a little annoyed that command could be glitchy. But if you just take your time, keep it simple, we'll definitely be able to get through that. So let's see, I'm gonna X out of this for now. And I'm gonna save changes. And so now that I have that, I'm gonna go to, let's see.
Incognito, that's right.
Yes, Dave, incognito. So one way that you could send out your newsletters is through a smart plan. And while I am no full expert on, I don't even know what a people plan is yet, but there are plenty of templates in here. There's a library, and you can link it with your Twilio account. So you could send out a combination of texts and emails, as well as phone calls. But let me see. Here we go. Here's my monthly neighborhood nurture. You can see these stats. I have 29 people who are on it. Every 31 days, these people, they get that email that Brendan was asking about what's going on in their market. That's just one smart plan that I've put some of my trusted SOI members on. But if you wanted to create a smart plan, you could just hit create. We'll say newsletter.
Hey, Maggie,
Yeah.
is there a way to export these to do, because like everyone's saying, it is wonky. Like I was working on a template the other day, and when you click on things, it takes a second or two. Is there a way to export it and edit it in a different program and then upload it back, or does it all have to be done through this portal?
That's a great question. I have done every workaround, Brendan, because this is my bread and butter, right? This is my marketing. I have not found a way that hypothetically, if you wanted to use Canva and do all of that on there and then upload that one image to your newsletter, you could do that. But you really would have fewer opportunities for your viewers to click through to different things. There are so many syncs that you can do. You can sync with Constant Contact. You can sync with MailChimp, where you create all of that content in MailChimp, and then it just syncs with command with the people who have the tag for your newsletter. So I've done that. I tested that out this winter. I'm tired of using plugins personally, but if you feel like it would just like give you that peace of mind, it's definitely an option. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. So this is a smart plan name. We're going to create a task. So actually, no, this is actually not at all what I wanted to show you. So smart plans, you can watch a video on that. I'm just showing you my quick hack for sending this newsletter out manually. And so as you know, like I already went to design, I had my newsletter template. All of your info on your newsletter is going to pull from your marketing profile. So make sure that your marketing profile is updated. And you can do that, I believe, you know, by clicking your name and your settings here. And just gonna let my computer catch up with us. Okay, so I'm going to pretend like I've selected everyone. I'm just gonna select these three though. I think this is the right way to do this. Hold on. No, this is not correct. Let me see. I'm not trying to be a hero, guys. I might just show you the video that was very impactful and powerful for me. And hold on one
He's
second.
my hero.
Oh, is that Sergio? Okay, whoever that was, thank you. for
Maybe.
that. Okay, so let me see this. That's not the right way to do it. Okay, quick little video break. This is what we're gonna watch, and I'm gonna do it on double time so you can, so it won't take so long. It might skip. That's what I'm worried about.
This video, let's talk about how to create a monthly newsletter.
Okay, I'm not going to do that, guys. I'm going to walk you through it. So I'll send out that video to you guys after this, but essentially you save your design, you have your template, you have everything in there, you have the links to your Keller Williams app, you have your links to the Keller Williams website, any videos that you want to talk about. If you have a side hustle or a side gig, you're featuring that. You're talking about what makes you unique as a real estate agent, and also sharing what's going on in your world and being vulnerable enough to try, I think, is the first step here. So so once you have your template saved, there is a way where you go to all your contacts and then you search based on the @ sign. So if a contact has an @ sign on it, that means that you've entered an email address. And not everyone who's in your command has an email address, right? And if they don't, you know, when you're doing that cleanup beforehand, you could always ask for it. But essentially the way that that little man in the Santa hat with the ears says that you search with the @ sign, you send out the, you know, the template, the design template through command email. And yeah, and then that's one way to take mindshare. So there's smart plans, there's the direct command email, there's the neighborhood nurtures. There was one more thing that I wanted to point out. And when you're in the designs feature in command, there's a new quarterly newsletter. I'm not going to try to share my screen. I think my bandwidth for my house is kind of like pushing it right now. But if you go to designs and you go to print, like you press that little plus sign at the bottom right to make something new, and you press print, there are the new, I guess they're like e-zines. Like you could print them out and they could be magazines, but there are these gorgeous custom created different presentations that literally look like magazines that you could send that out to your customers. There are so many different templates in there. You do not have to follow what I did. Let your creativity shine. lean on leadership. Definitely ask agent services. Like if you mock it all up and you have it ready to go and you want that second set of eyes, that's what our leadership team is here for. And also, I'm here to support you. Ideally, we would be sending these out probably like either the last couple days of the month, like, and it's the newsletter for the next month, and you're talking about, you know, fun, cool things that are going on in you know, June, or you are kind of using the market stats from the month before, and it's your May newsletter. This is what we saw this, you know, this past spring or whatnot, or last month. In April, this is what we saw, because you know that those stats are going to be really in NEFAR if you're, you know, past the 15th of the month. But that's all I got. Anybody have questions, comments, concerns, ahas? Yeah.
Did you record this?
Yes, sir. I sure
Yeah.
did, Serge.
And Maggie, you said you're going to send that video that helped you. You'd send that to us as well.
Definitely.
Thank
And I'm going to take a quick screenshot of all the participants. And I don't know everyone. Oh, yes. Okay, everyone, throw up a deuce or something. 3, 2, 1. Yay. Thanks for joining my first class, guys. I never was formally trained with Keller Williams.
Wait, this was your first?
Yes. I
Great
was like
job.
gonna give up on command before being like, actually, no, I'm going to push through this and, you know, make sure that I can help others push through it too. Because doesn't it, it's like the suckiest feeling when you know you're missing an opportunity to share about yourself or your wins or your triumphs or whatnot. And so think about who you are, think about what you want to say, and go out there and grab that mind share.
Good job, Maggie. Thanks.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you so much, Maggie.